Hello, my name is Tracy. I'm co-founder of an organisation called Grow Remote. We are a non-profit that help make remote work both visible and accessible. We focus on employment as opposed to freelance or gig work. And this course is an introduction into how to get one of the 55,000 remote jobs open in Ireland this month, and all the support that you need along the way, from everything that you need to make it the best decision for you. So today we have Rebecca Williams, who has been a long-standing member of the community since we began, and she might give us a little bit of an insight into the process that you might have ahead of you if you're looking to find remote work. So Rebecca, thanks a million for everything you do for the community, actually in general, to start off with, and then thanks for your time today. Could you just tell us a little bit about you?
Absolutely. I am Rebecca. I work for Automatic within talent operations in a small team called engineer development. And my role basically, we develop engineers basically. We deal with onboarding. We look at things like professional development. We just help people sink into the role in a way that is most successful for them. So it's an incredibly exciting and varied role. We deal with all kinds of things from DEI through to, I don't know, leadership, cultivation as well. Absolutely, we cover the entire spectrum. Super exciting and it's super varied. I landed in this role on the back of a career change, actually. I worked for a university in the UK for 15 years. And I was the technical lead for the pre-applicant and pre-student corporate systems. So there was an awful lot of development there. I accidentally fell into a software development role. And I got to about, so it was a pivotal point when I had my daughter, and I thought, I feel like I need a career change, to be honest. So I went back to my studies. I did a master's degree in occupational psychology. And that's when I thought, I feel like I need a real people-focused sort of role. So Automatic was the first role I landed in from my career change, basically, and it combines beautifully my love of working with people and also my technical background. So best of both worlds.
Sounds like the dream job. So how did you get the dream job? How did you actually find it?
I found it thanks to Grow Remote, actually. I did a brief search on how I could make a remote role look for me, how it would look for me on a day-to-day basis. And I discovered the concept of co-working spaces. I did a Google search and discovered there was a co-working space in the village. And I reached out to the person who I noticed talking about that co-working space, who it turned out was Kat Slater. And we had a few great discussions on LinkedIn. And she invited me along to an event that Grow Remote were running at the co-working space. So I went along and she issued us with lots of resources about companies that hire in Ireland, and Automatic was on that list. So I'd not heard of Automatic at that point. So when I went back and did a bit of research, I discovered that, it was the home of WordPress, it was the home of WooCommerce, and it just sounded like an incredibly exciting organization. I read up some blogs for people who work there, and I thought, I think this is actually going to be the ideal place for me to land. So let's just try. And I applied for a job in HR and I didn't get it. So that was a kick in the teeth, really, because I felt convinced that I was exactly the right person for that role. And when I went back and revisited my application, I discovered that I made every mistake that people tell you not to make. And I told them how I wanted to work for Automatic. I didn't answer any of the application questions. I didn't align my skill set with what they were looking for. So that was a huge, big lesson for me. We do have thousands of applications, and the ones that stand out are the ones that make it super easy to see where this person would fit in beautifully to that role. So that was a great lesson for me. So eventually the right job did come along, and I applied all those lessons that I'd learned along the way, as well as at the workshop at Grow Remote. And I was lucky enough to secure the role.
That's superb. That's a great story, and I think it's just excellent that you're able to take a career change as well and move into a remote role. So just one, I guess, final question. When it is very competitive to get these jobs, and that's why we step in to promote them, because the likes of Automatic doesn't have to work very hard to get excellent talent across the world. We have to work very hard to get jobs often, though. But it's very competitive. So I suppose there's kind of application things, but is there any kind of skills or anything like that that you need to stand out specifically when you're finding remote work?
I would definitely say things like being able to problem solve independently, being self-directed, that is really important in a remote environment, because you don't have a manager in the office with you. You don't have someone to sort of say, do you need any help? You have to be able to be driven enough to either seek out that help yourself or to unblock yourself in some way to get through and achieve your final outcome there. So being able to show evidence of that on your application form is a huge standout point for people. And also, if you are asked application questions, make sure you answer them. It's super easy to read a couple of words and think you know what they're asking for, but really look at that question and align yourself to it as much as you can. Any experience that you've got, whether it's paid or not, use it and bring it to the table. Don't leave anything to chance. Put it all out there and let the person at the other end make the call.
Brilliant. That's superb. Rebecca, thank you for today. Thank you for being involved in the Grow Remote community for so long, and thank you for the hours of time that you donate. Every time we ask you for something, welcome. You say yes. Yeah, thank you. And Kat Slater, just for context, is one of our many local community leaders. There's 130 across the world now who are there to support you on the ground to connect locally as remote workers. Thank you.